right now. All right, Chris, you ready? Yeah. Test 1, 2. Test. of Barrington football, and we have a stunning matchup here for you guys tonight.
You know, those Broncos, they were showing me something after sneaking out that victory last week versus New Trier, and I'm excited for what they've got for us tonight.
Indeed, we were dogs in the New Trier student section, and the Broncos were dogs on the field, beating New Trier 28-. They're facing an even tougher team, you could say. An option to the right, and that is the Titans' left, actually. And that's a good gain. 2nd and 5. Titans move it up. And, you know, this is what the Glenbrook South Titans love to do on offense. They love to run the ball. We've said this. And, you know, they just like to pound it down. But the Broncos defense had swarmed up. That is the man, AK-47, Andrew Krause, on the play. Hey, Chris, what can you tell me about this Broncos defense?
This Broncos defense has been prevalent all season long, with guys like William Dowell and Nick Bournet backing up the secondary. They have been shut down, some could say. It is a no-fly zone back there in that secondary, and they are going to be all over this team all game long.
And we see the Broncos have made the switch. Danny Sheedy is now in linebacker stack in the box. Here, Glenbrook South is looking to pass. That is number 87 moving down the field. Beats the man, Zach Meyer. That is Jack DeSano on the play. A 30-yard play. And you see Glenbrook South, they're already passing. Maybe they're hitting Broncos with something unexpected. They've been grounding and pounding it the past 3 games, and that's been successful. But, you know, Broncos will be the Titans' biggest test. And, you know, they kind of hit him with a little trickery there with the pass. 2 men in the backfield. That is a pitch to the right. Collins moving with speed. A gain of 8 on the play, and let's take a look at this Glenbrook South offense we were mentioning before the game. They like to run, and run. They run the triple option a lot. We were kind of shocked on their second play. They already came out passing, led by Jack Collins and Berta, who are both two-way defensive players, as we mentioned before, and they love to run the ball. Hand off to Berta, who will try and sneak it up, and he appears to get the first down. The Titans are moving down the Broncos' throat already.
Yeah, and the GBS offense is really getting whatever they want right now. And this Broncos defense, you want to make sure that front four is not getting tired as, you know, this drive goes on as they get closer and closer to the end zone. They need a big play now. They need a big stop now. Guys like Cole Kruger need to step up and make a play right now to hold this offense to just a short little run game here.
And my mistake, everyone, it's a rookie mistake. It's actually Will Collins, not Jack Collins, number 22, who's been such a powerhouse for this Titans offense, as he lines up as tight end. A little fullback dive, and that'll be the man, Etor Egbenya, on the gain, a 3-yard gain. As the Broncos, they seem to get the Titans on the first down so far, but second down they kind of let up a bit more yardage, and that's the Titans' plan of attack. I think they're going to tire these Broncos out. And it's a good thing the Broncos have so much depth. Yeah,
and that triple option offense, it doesn't just tire teams out physically, it tires them out mentally too. You have to keep watching reads. Who's the ball going to? Where's it going? As this team keeps trickling and trickling down the field, it gets more and more difficult for these defenders.
Berto with some nice moves, but he is pulled out of bounds. That is a nice wrap-up tackle by the man, Alex Bradley.
Attaway for
Jake
Alex.
Hanzo, my mistake.
I was going to say, Attaway for Alex Bradley. That would be a big play for the junior. Jake Hanzo, we know him.
Jake Hanzo has been a beast defensively. You know, he played very physical, has a very physical play to him. And, you know, when you get hit by Jake Hanzo, I bet it's not so good of a feeling.
Oh, I would not like to get hit by that man. But I guess the GBS players are in for a hurting tonight.
Berta and Collins. Some misdirection action as Collins tries to break it up to the left, but he is stopped on third down. And it will be 4th and short. Glenbrook South stays out on the field. That is some great defense by the Broncos. They were expecting a run, you know, but Glenbrook South, I'm surprised they didn't pass it there. They passed on 2nd and short on their first set of downs. But now they're kind of in a pickle. 4th and 3. The crowd is getting loud at their own 29. Let's see what Glenbrook South has up their sleeves. Takes a shot, and it is broken up.
And that's a great play there by the Broncos defense. Just what I was talking about. They need that one big play, the little spark. And look at them now as they come off the field. They are charged up, and I would expect them to be charged up all night long.
That is Zach Meyer on the pass deflection. You know, he is such a versatile player. He rushes the quarterback a lot, but he also drops back in coverage in there. He makes a clutch stop to, you know, set the tone for this Broncos defense and leave GBS empty-handed. Now walking out on the field, we have the boys in red, this Broncos offense, led by Harley Thompson in the backfield, who is in shotgun motion. Harley with a read option. He's moving up the field. Harley Thompson moves the chains on the first play for the Broncos. And, Chris, let's talk about Harley Thompson and this Broncos offense.
Yeah, Harley Thompson and this Broncos offense have, you know, been a little bit run-heavy, averaging 171 rush yards per game in comparison to just 88.7 yards in the air. Harley Thompson has been incredible both in the air and on the ground, as he did get in the end zone on his feet, as we saw last week. And, you know, a little bit of the same here today, and that's got to be frightening for this secondary.
Broncos here, 1st and 10. Another read option, and Glenbrook South bites on Panessas, but they capitalize on the second chance, and Thompson only gets a gain of a few. And
Yeah, it looks
Chris,
like
talking about this offense, let's hear about Evan Panessa, shall we?
Evan Panessa, a great friend of mine. Grew up with the kid my whole life. You know, I've probably been tackling him a lot more than some of these other guys. He has 306 rush yards in 3 games. You know, I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like 102 yards per game. And he also has 4 rushing touchdowns on the season, and he is a star for this Broncos offense.
Man in motion, Thompson. Hands off to the man, Panessa, who's going to break some tackles. A long run, but that goes all the way to the left, and he only gets a gain of 2 on the play. It will be third and 3.
Yeah, and respect towards due. These Glenbrook South defenders are really fundamentally sound, as we see. They're not getting a lot of broken tackles, as we saw last week by the new Trio defense. You know, they're just a lot more composed, and they're wrapping up these Broncos receivers.
Thompson in shotgun, man to the left of him. That is Panessa. Oh, fumble, and Thompson jumps back off. That could have been dangerous. Glenbrook South was about to get back onto the ball, and just a sloppy play in total by the offense. And those are the kind of mistakes you got to clean up, but you kind of expect that when a lot of these guys are fresh. You know, this is only a lot of starters' 4th game, as, you know, Barrington, they love starting the seniors, but now the special teams will come out and punt the ball away.
And the punter in week 1 that we saw, Payne Soski, looks to be a different punter they got here in week 4. That looks to be Dylan Fitzpatrick, the brother, I believe, of Tommy Fitzpatrick, the old Bronco quarterback from a couple years back.
Timeout called by the Broncos, 4th and 7 at their own 48. And, you know, we've had the defenses go back and forth now, so maybe we're in for a little defensive battle. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think that once the floodgates kind of get open for Barrington and they get a little taste of that end zone, I think they could run it up on this Glenbrook South team. You know, they probably could have gotten a first down there if not for that muff snap. I'm expecting a lot of points here for this Broncos offense.
You know, both teams seem pretty evenly matched. We saw in the Max Peps rankings, Glenbrook South is 60th, I believe, and the Broncos are 45th. It's kind of weird, though. The Broncos, they won, and now they get dropped down 10 spots, and they won against Wheeling, and they got dropped down 4. So, you know, they win 2 games and get dropped down 14 spots. I think someone's got to talk to the Max Preps analysts over there.
Now, Austin, we know that rankings are not everything. It all comes down to October and November football where the real champs are made.
New punter Fitzpatrick now here to punt. Maybe a little fake.
It's a great punt.
A good punt, kind of a long drive. Play. That is now the man, Alex Bradley, making the play on special teams. We shot it out on defense, even though it was Jake Cahanzo. But Bradley gets up there, and, you know, Glenbrook South on special teams, they haven't been able to return it past the 20.
Yeah, and very clairvoyant of you on that play, Austin. Really seeing into the future there for Alex Bradley. Great to see the junior making a big play.
Quarterback Nye Swanson now taking the snap under center as he'll hand it off to the man. That's Matt Berta. You know, 44, Matt Berta, that just seems like a guy who's just going to make you hurt. Second and 9 on the play. Swanson under center. Formation we've seen a lot. Collins will get the sweep to the right, but he is swallowed up. It's a great play by Andrew Krause.
Yeah, it's like this front line for the Broncos hurt me. And, like I said, they're making a lot of big plays now. It just takes one to really boost your confidence. And, a little spark plug action there.
Swanson with some play action. He's rolling out. He's going to fire it. And a nice play by the junior. That is Jackson Grosh on the play.
Austin, that would be Andrew Garoche, and that was a great play there by the junior who's stepping in for our good friend Johnny VG as he's nursing back that shoulder to 100%. It's great to have him step up in that situation.
I swear John Van Gilder hates to put the blame on him, but he told me his name was Jackson Grosh. I was misled. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But Andrew Gross, 26, stepping up as one of the lone safeties since Barrington is stacking this box. And, the Broncos responded well to that little play action that the Titans had. And now it'll be 4th and 7. The Broncos defense is looking strong.
Yeah, I'm trying to see Kakoma take this one back to the Casa on this punt return.
A nice punt as Kakoma fair catches it, and the Broncos will end up back where they started at their own 48-yard line. 39-yard punt by Glenbrook South. So, Chris, the Broncos, they had one first down, and then they had that fumble snap. So the question is, do they keep running the ball? Because they were looking pretty strong until that muff snap.
Yeah, I think we still balance out the run, but we got to test these Glenbrook South DBs eventually. I think now might be a good chance, maybe like a little play action. You tell me, Austin.
Serrano screening the left. A misdirection there, and Glenbrook South reads it well. That is Tommy Corbett stepping up there as the defensive lineman. Second and 10 now on the Broncos' own 48.
Yeah, Austin, I definitely think now is the time to air it out. And, Kakoma, it's a bounce back game from see him one-on-one on the outside. Them.
Glenbrook South on the pressure there was Tommy Corbett, and Harley Thompson diving to just get the ball out of his hands. And, that was a rough little play there for the offensive lineman. I saw 4 Titans breaking through the seams of that O-line, and they only rushed 4 on that play.
Yeah, it's gotta be a little nerve-wracking if you're Harley Thompson. You just get the snap, flick it around in your hands, and you look up and you see 4 defenders rushing right at you through the holes. At least he avoids the sack and he's able to get that throw off, and it's 3rd and 10 here.
Broncos end up unsuccessful in the passing game on second down. It is now 3rd and long. Play action. They're going to throw it to Kakoma, who catches it for the first down. 12-yard gain on the play. A nice drawn-up play. Ben Kakoma on the comeback. Great job.
Yeah, and like I just said, it's a bounce-back type game for Kakoma tonight, and it's great to see him get that first reception here in the first quarter. And, I'm expecting a big game out of my boy today.
Kakoma, that is his 3rd catch on the season. He had one really long catch against Wheeling, and he steps it up there, gets a huge first down to keep this Broncos drive alive with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And the Titans are over it, but Thompson uses his agility to get a positive yardage. One minute, 22 seconds left as the Broncos took a little extra time there on the huddle. Marching now on the Titans 37. It is 7. Clock is ticking down in the first quarter. Play action screen pass, but the Titans do not fall for the pump fake as they stuff the line there. Panessis can only get a gain of around 2 yards.
And down in distance here, I'm really, don't call me a fortune teller, but I'm seeing a pass here for the Broncos offense. I mean, Kakoma and Connor Lee line up here on the left side of the field in a little stack. Should be a little bunch formation. Should be interesting to see what they do.
Extra men on the line. Thompson in shotgun. He's going to look to pass. Looking to scramble after under pressure from the left side. He's going to break it. And does he get the first down?
He's got to have it. Come on.
Looks like he winds up 2 yards short of the play, and we'll get a 4th and 2. What do you do here in this situation, Chris? Do you trust the boot and Nick Bourdonnais?
Oh, wait. It looks like they're... Is there a flag on the play there, Austin?
Looks like there is a flag holding. I kind of saw that too, but I didn't want to say it. My bias was kicking in. Peter Hutchinson kind of got beat off the left side. I think that was him on the holding as Thompson was under pressure. So now the Broncos back up a lot. 3rd and 21.
One would say 3rd and forever. They're definitely in and out here.
Maybe play conservative, go with the run. Chris, you are wrong, but kind of an incorrect play call there on 3rd and 21. Broncos looking to play a little conservative there, get a gain of 5. And it will wind up being 4th and 15 at the Titans 45.
The gamble here for this Broncos special teams is they got to really be able to down them inside the 20, inside the 10. Because, a touchback doesn't do them any good here. A punt with a field position starts at the 25, 30-yard line. That doesn't do this team any good.
Yeah, you either put trust in your punter to pin them, or you put trust in your defense to not let a first down up if there is no punt on this play and there's no conversion on 4th and 15. The quarter ends. It will be the second quarter as we have donut holes on both sides. It is 0-0. Fitzpatrick here on the punt. Broncos, I think this is the smarter play.
Yeah, definitely. 4th and 15, the odds are not great.
Not a good punt there.
But just like I said, Austin, you don't want the other team starting at their own 35, 40-yard line.
You might as well just go for it if you were
Yeah.
about to get a punt like that.
Thompson
Price
throwing a
gives
deep
us
ball.
the exact 5-yard punt there. And the Titans will be setting up shop in a very good position at their own 40-yard line. And, they could take advantage of this. Swanson here gives a little curl route. And that is incomplete. A nice recovery by the man, Nick Bourdonnais. He had a little bit of a rough game last week, and I'm not going to lie. That's the first time I saw Nick kind of having a little rough game because Nick, he's a lockdown guy.
Yeah, I think it just took Nick to bless that one time we saw in the second quarter by number 2, I believe, on Nutrier. And that kind of lit a spark in him where he was like, oh, I'm not getting beat again. And, if he keeps that chip on his shoulder, it's going to be hard to get past Nick Bourdonnais all season long. I hope he's got those hands tonight.
Yep, and his job, who he's lining up against, that was James Sherman, the 6'4" wide receiver, but he's lining up against number 4, Carmelo Levantino, as Zach Meyer and Cole Kruger swarm that Titans rushing offense as they only get a gain of 1 on the play. It is 3rd and 9. Broncos defense looking very strong here in the opening quarters of tonight's game. So if you're the Titans, Chris, are you calling a pass here? Because, you know, they've passed it a total of 3 times now. They wound up successful on 1. It caught the Broncos defense by surprise, but, you know, they're running trips now, so I think they might be passing it. But the Broncos still have the box stacked. Swanson's rolling out. He's going to throw a nice little curl. And that is Jack DeSano, who's going to run it up, covered by William Dowell. Dowell gave him a little bit too much of a cushion there, as DeSano takes it up for a big first down for the Titans, trying to break even from the 0-0 score.
Yeah, and a guy like DeSano, that big and that elusive to get in those pockets of the Broncos defense, that's impressive. Respect where it's due to Jack DeSanos.
DeSano listed at 6'4", 230. Dowell, I think, he's got to be around, let's see here, 6'3", 170. So DeSano definitely has the weight on him. But Dowell, he's a quick guy. He had a nice wrap-up tackle there, even though he gave up the first down, as a false start is called. The Titans will move back. It is 1st and 15. Swanson with the handoff, flag is called.
I think that could be another false start, maybe.
Broncos swallow it up. See what the call is. A legal shift from the Titans. There's a lot of men running in motion there. Maybe they had 2 going at once, which you never want to see in the offense. Some confusion between the refs here. And they finally move the Titans back. The Broncos select to accept the penalty. It is now 1st and 20. Titans essentially need 2 first downs in order to get their first down.
Yeah, penalty yardage, you know, you hate to see it. It's putting the GBS team back where they started. You hate to see it.
Swanson under center. A jet sweep motion to Will Collins, who will be swallowed up. That is Zach Meyer, who's having a great game so far.
Yeah, Zach Meyer, you know, he's got that wrestling background to him. You know, I feel like that's got to help him a little bit when it comes to tackling and running backs. And on that play there, you love to see him swallow him up for a short game. Still got a country mile to go practically for the first down here.
2nd and 18. 9 minutes, 14 seconds left in the first half. Clock is ticking. And this is a little bit of a quicker game already because both teams, they love to run the ball, especially Glenbrook South.
Yeah, run, and more run, I guess.
Play action there. He's just going to haul it up, and he drops it. Swanson hauls it up for Matt Berta. On the coverage there is the man. That is Danny Sheedy on the coverage. And let's talk about Danny Sheedy. You know, he's having a great game so far, and he's had a great campaign on the season. 22 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 pass deflections. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Sheedy, we saw him in the game versus Wheeling with that amazing interception he had. He almost took it back to the crib, but he was unsuccessful. And, you know, he told me earlier that he's itching for another one. He's waiting for it to come to him. Big
drop there by Berta. Kind of a hard catch to make. Had to make it a little over the shoulder. didn't know where the ball was coming. Two receivers at the top of your screen here. Shotgun, where you hardly ever see the Titans in shotgun. And they'll throw a check down, but that is a nice wrap-up. That is Danny Sheedy again reading the play. He takes down the man, James Sherman, as the Titans are now stuck in another 4th and long situation. They'll be looking to punt it here on 4th and 13 at midfield.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Coach Sanchez wanted out of his Broncos D. A big stop there. And, you know, the Broncos, this is the perfect opportunity for them to put some points on the board and jump out to the first lead of the half for either side here.
Titans with a punt, and that will fall as the ball looks to be tracking Ben Kakoma as he runs away from it. That's a nice punt as the Broncos will be setting up shop around their own 18.
Yeah,
it is 0-0.
Is it windy in here, Austin? That ball seemed to carry, you know, a little bit. Got a very generous roll from the gods on that play there.
Maybe we should check this Glenbrook South booth we're sitting next to. What if they have a remote control controlling where the ball goes?
Very cheesy, Austin. Love it on the play-by-play.
7 minutes, 51 seconds remain in the second quarter. 3 receivers set. Harley Thompson. Motion is Panessis. Screen pass. As Panessis, good blocking by the receiver, Ben Kakoma. Panessis is moving, but Glenbrook South has a lot of time to stop that. But a pretty good gain there, backed up on their own. As they get a 6-yard gain on the play, it will be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and this is a whole different Kakoma than this GBS sophomore JV team saw 2 years ago. Since COVID, Ben Kakoma has put on a lot of weight, a lot of mass, and you can see out there he's a lot better blocker for that.
Harley Thompson on the screen. That is to Kakoma. Kakoma takes it up, and that is a first down. Hand off to Panessis, who has room. He's going to go for a scamper and wind up just short of the first down. A nice gain there with 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
And Panessis track as much as he is on the field, and we saw there that track speed giving him that extra boost for the first down and move those chains. Those boys have been busy tonight.
Thompson now on shotgun, and the Broncos got the first down on the play. My apologies. Connor Lee in the screening motion. Panessis getting backed up. He's going to try to get to the line of scrimmage, and that is some nice tackling, but a block in the back is called on the play.
Looks like an injured Titan as well.
Will this be a personal foul call? Hopefully all is well for the Glenbrook South defensive lineman. injury timeout here for the Titans. You never want to see injuries, especially at this young of an age. And we pray that all is well.
And if you remember, I hate to reminisce, but again, 2 years back, our good friend Bruno Palin suffered a torn ACL against the Titans his sophomore year, and, made him switch positions. He's now a linebacker, and he was great last week versus the Titans.
Yeah, Bruno worked his way into the starting spot. He started off this season injured, and he had a great game against New Trier. Absolute hawk chasing the New Trier QB and Jack Cummings, New Trier running back. But it's on to next week now as 6 minutes and 6 seconds remain in the first half. Scoreless game so far. And that is number 5, Itor Egbenya, who plays defensive lineman and running back, getting up. It's good to see that he is walking on his own, just with a little bit of a limp, but you hope for the best. A 15-yard penalty. That was a personal foul for the Broncos. And now you kind of dug yourself in another hole. That's what the Broncos have been doing all day so far, especially the offense. And, their defense has been giving them a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, this defense got to be a little frustrated out of this offense. They're doing their job. We're a quarter and a half into this game, and it's still donuts on the board for both sides. The Broncos are just doing this to themselves at this point, it seems.
First and a mile. First and 25 to be exact. At their own 23-yard line. Kakoma in motion. See if Broncos try to take a shot here. As they're looking deep, he's got a man. Serrano! Jack Serrano with the catch. He is heading for 6. Broncos touchdown. That's the man, Jack Serrano.
And it is the Serrano show. Back-to-back weeks of 50-plus yard touchdowns for Jack Serrano on that play. A 72-yarder.
77 to be exact. And boy, what a play drawn up. We saw that at New Trier. That play seems to be like a cheese play in Madden. Always working Serrano with another long touchdown as the Broncos were at 1st and 25. And they just responded with a touchdown just as we were doubting him too. We kind of jinxed them in a good way, you could say. And that's what you love to see out of this Broncos offense, taking shots, relying on Harley Thompson. As Nick Bourdonnais kicks it no good, and we will stay at 6-0 Broncos.
Yeah, and you'll love to see it out of my personal friend, Jack Serrano. He was telling me before today, he woke up this morning and he was feeling good, and I guess that he really took that literally, and making me eat his words. And big play here in the second quarter. Broncos jump out to the first lead of the night. And, if all goes well, they won't look back.
6-0 here with 5 minutes and 42 seconds remaining. In this second quarter. The student section and the rest of this Broncos stampede is getting loud here as the Broncos put the first points up on the board. What an electric play under the Friday night lights here. 6-0 as the Broncos will end up kicking it off here.
I wonder if something's going on with Bourdonnais' leg, maybe his foot, because we usually see Bourdonnais taking these kickoffs. Yeah, it's Sosky on him tonight.
Sosky's always leading the kickoffs. Nick, I think, is just the accuracy kicker there. I think that extra point was a little bit botched as Will Collins is moving. Will Collins is going. He is gone. 85-yard kick return, and what a response by Glenbrook South.
And Austin, we're just eating our words left and right tonight. You hate to see it there from that Broncos special teams unit. Really just a bunch of missed tackles. Couldn't get him to the ground. And they really paid for it there.
85-yard return. What a play by Will Collins, who was the Illinois Player of the Week. Week 1, he's had a great season. He was getting swallowed up as the running back, but there, as a kickoff returner, the Broncos have no answer as it is tied right now, but Glenbrook South looking to make it 7-6. The extra point is good, and the Glenbrook South Titans reply in fashion there, getting it done with their special teams. As they couldn't get it done with their offense, Will Collins takes matters into his own hands and runs it for 85 yards, weaving and bopping through that Broncos special teams.
And who knows, Austin, what are the odds that the Broncos can one-up them on this one and take another one to the house?
Just as you thought the scoring was coming at a premium, we are treated to 2 electric plays back-to-back to treat us for, what may become an offensive landslide. We do not know, but the Titans take the lead for the first time in the game. Broncos only held their lead for, say, about 20 seconds. 5 minutes and 28 seconds remain in this first half as we are in for a great game on this Friday night.
Yeah, truly blessed to be here with you in the booth, Austin, and with all of our Barrington families here in attendance tonight.
Certainly a pleasure. Nice kicked off to Panessis, who will be chased down by Titans defenders. He's weaving through, taking matters in his own hands, running a lot of yards, but only getting up to the 27. Still, what a great return. Flag is thrown from a mile away. Wonder what the call is. Maybe a personal foul. It came in a little late after the whistle was blown.
Great flag throw by the ref there. Respect where it's due, Austin. That ref must have played some high school football himself.
Yeah, I saw about 23 air yards on that play. Maybe we could get a second opinion from Mr. Price. That is a personal foul on the Broncos. Panessis running all those yards for nothing. Block in the back on the play, I'm sorry. They'll take it up at their own 16. Back where they scored that electric touchdown with super back Jack Serrano. Nice misdirection play there. Penalty is called. That could be coming back. And Panessis with a big gain. 35 yards, but might be an illegal shift or a holding. Illegal shift it is. As the Broncos are beating themselves up once again. Giving up a kickoff return touchdown is one thing you never want to do. A total morale crusher. And, they've had a lot of flags offensively. And we saw against New Trier, I think they had only around 2. And, that could be a reason why this game is close.
Yeah, and I really, really hoping for the best on this Broncos offense here. A lot of flags here, a lot of a couple more illegal shift calls than we've seen all season long here today. Refs are a little flag happy, I don't know. See as the flag.
Play action pass. And an inaccurate throw intended for the man Connor Lee, who had one of the best catches I've seen in person last week on a long 3rd and long to kind of keep the Broncos in the game against New Trier. Just reached up, and he had to have his head up at the rim. He reached up for that ball and kind of flipped over to catch it. But there he is not able to haul in the one-hand catch attempt. 4:59 remains as the Broncos are backed up 2nd and 15 at their own 11.
Yeah, and they could really use another play like you just mentioned, Austin. Out of someone like Connor Lee or Ben Kikoma. Or look at my boy Gavin Sarkar in there right now. Oh, get ready for this, Austin.
Timeout is called. Broncos use their 2nd timeout of the half. Just when you're about to get excited about your boy Gavin Sarkar, maybe you won't see the field again.
That was cold, Austin.
Broncos come out of their timeout, wondering if they got a little extra huddle after kind of making some bad flags, bad penalties. But they come out in the same formation, 2 receivers to both sides of Harley Thompson.
And this
Chris,
definitely
you
looks
still remain happy with Gavin Sarkar on the field.
Gavin Sarkar on the field. You love to see it. Added bonus. But this looks to be a design play by the Broncos. Not a set we see often, if not ever, out of this team. 4 receiver set, including Panessis. This should be fun. Hey, you touch him. Hey.
Good play call by the Broncos there. Third and 9 now for the Broncos. Broncos come out in shotgun formation. 3 receivers down at the bottom of your screen. Harley Thompson rolling out. He's looking deep, under pressure, using his mobility. He's going to fire, and he's going to throw it to the man. That is Ben Kikoma, hands like glue in this game. Nice catch, and way to keep the chains moving there. Move those chains, we say. 4 minutes are on the clock here left in the first half as the Broncos come up big there on a 3rd and long. Harley Thompson improvising to find an open man.
Yeah, and Austin, you know us, kicking back in 5th hour today. Studio TV class, talking about the game today. We were saying we wanted this type of game from Kikoma. Right there is the type of play we were expecting out of him. Great hands there. Like you said, hands like glue from the boy.
Thompson hands it off to Panessis, who is swallowed up. You know, Glenbrook South, they've been doing a great job of keeping Panessis kind of handled. Their defensive line is breaking through that O-line that had such a great performance last week. Now the Broncos setting up shop at their own 33. Clock is ticking as we go to 3 minutes left in the first half. Shotgun formation yet again. Play action. A nice little misdirection screen. Serrano is moving. He has daylight. He has daylight. He is moving. And that is a big gain for the Broncos there. Serrano having days back to back. He is a focal point of this Broncos passing game.
And you know Jack Serrano, my BSL teammate, He's a big guy. Serrano, he's mobile, but he is big. All 6'2", 200 of him. And, man, we saw in that truck it there, getting him some extra yards. And, man, was that great to see Austin.
28-yard play there as it's a first down and 10, 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Panessis on the sweep, breaking out to the right. He has room. He's going to move for some more. Stiff arming a man. A little bit of a late tackle there. I'm wondering where the flag is. Let's see where the refs decide to spot it. Just short of the first down mark as it's 2nd and 1 at Glenbrook South's 30. You know, you get 2 minutes, 17 seconds now since he ran out of bounds. The clock is stopped.
Yeah, and those football dads there were really urgent for that flag call there, but they didn't get it.
Low snap. That is a second muff snap, and the Titans will fall on top of it. Oh. It looks like the Titans had a hand on that, but might have gotten jarred loose. My bad for the terrible call, ladies and gentlemen. But that is the second muff snap of the game, and we're not even into the second half.
Yeah, Coach Sanchez is going to need to have a word with his boys at halftime. We saw one muff snap back in week 1, if you remember.
I think that was nerves just getting
Yeah, otherwise it's very uncharacteristic of this Broncos offense. They're usually quite disciplined, not racking up a lot of flags all season.
3rd and 3 at the Titans 33. Kakoma in motion. Flag is on the play. Another false start by this offensive lineman, and, you know, it's not really inaccurate to say that they are having a bad game so far.
Yeah, this offensive line needs to ship up or shape out, I guess is the words for it. They got to come back from this.
Now they've backed themselves up into 3rd and long. You know, it was 2nd and short. 2nd and 1, and now they're on 3rd and 9 at their own 38. Kind of knocked them out of long field goal range. A play action pass. Thompson under pressure. He's going to throw it, and he throws it just a little bit out of bounds. You know, now they have a 4th and 9 at their own 30 at the Titans 38. Kind of dug themselves into a hole with 1 minute and 7 seconds left.
Yeah, you know, Austin, I say they go for it here. Go big or go home. It's time. They got the momentum, I feel like, right now. It's now or never.
Down 1, trying to get some points, but the Broncos will receive it at the start of the second half. Let's see what the Broncos have up their sleeves here on 4th and 9. Play action, roll out to the right. Thompson firing. Oh, goes through the hands of Panessis there. Could have been a magical play to keep that drive alive, but it falls short. Maybe a little too far for Panessis. We didn't have the best angle. But 59 seconds remain in this first half, and this Broncos offense struggling a bit, capitalizing, digging themselves into their own graves. And that's something you do not want to see, especially when you're against a good team like Glenbrook South.
Yeah, Glenbrook South, the type of team that's just waiting at your door, waiting for you to leave so they can sneak in and take your cat. You hate to see it, but it's the type of team they're playing against tonight. And the longer they play with them, keep them around their game, you could say they're playing with their food, so to speak. And gosh, you'd hate to see it backfire on them.
Now 1st and 10. The Titans take advantage as they hand it off to Will Collins, who will be met by a bunch of red jerseys there. The Broncos have done a great job of holding Will Collins to not a lot of yards on the offensive side, but once they gave him a little kickoff return on that special teams unit, they really didn't have an answer for Collins' speed and agility.
Yeah, it wasn't just his speed. It was the way he was just shoving off tacklers. Made him look like he was playing pee-wee football, or he was a high schooler playing pee-wee football.
Will Collins, you know, he's not the biggest guy, but he does have some size to him. 6 feet, 164. and he was bouncing off those Broncos defenders there on that kickoff return. The Titans looked like they were about to just take it into half as they hand it up to Matt Berta, and the clock is ticking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. And this first half is over. The Broncos are down 1 in what is a defensive grudge match. We'll be back in 20 minutes, and we have a treat for this second half. And welcome back to the action 20 minutes later. A halftime break. Felt a little long there, Chris. But we are back. It is 7-6 heading into the second half. Glenbrook South has a close 1-point lead over the Barrington Broncos. You know, we had some action in the second quarter, but defenses have been making their name established in the turf so far throughout the first half. Let's see if that changes here as the Broncos will receive. The kick is off, a nice kick. Panessis will return it about the 3. He will break it up and will get taken down just about at the 26.
And Panessis rumbling, tumbling, bumbling, stumbling on that play. Really grinding for those extra yards. That, you know, putting Broncos in better field position. Hopefully no penalties here to start the second half.
Broncos will start at the 26. Let's see any game changes they had, game plan changes they have on offense. You know, they have 199 total yards, 56 rushing yards, and 143 passing yards. Usually you kind of see the inverse of that, where, you know, the Broncos are primarily rushing the ball, so it's kind of surprising the Titans have been swarming, breaking through that O-line and kind of wrapping up Panessis, and there's really nothing Panessis can do about it. But now we're here on 1st and 10. Inside zone run to Panessis. And a lot of white jerseys just crashing at him.
And you see DeSano screaming off that defensive end. God, he's huge. Hate to see that.
Now 2nd and 8 here. Thompson will roll out to the right. He's throwing it, and Kakoma trips on the turf. A nice play by Will Collins, who has the only touchdown for the Titans, and that was on the special teams. He's been doing it on all units here. He does it on offense, special teams, and defense. You know, 3-way player, that's what you like to see.
Yeah, and the Broncos are one of the only teams we see around this area that, you know, guys only play one way. We see a lot of guys on this Glenbrook South roster playing both ways. Like you said, Collins, DeSantos, a lot of guys in that field. And I got to see what the toll that's got to take on your body after 4 quarters of football.
You have to be an incredible athlete for sure. As Thompson's thrown back, he's looking, and he finds his man. That is Connor Lee to the house. Broncos score on an electric play to open up this half. Over the middle, Connor Lee takes it to the house.
And Thompson giving him a Christmas present, dropping that right in his breadbasket. Lee doesn't even need to break stride, and a guy like Connor Lee, 6th in the state in the 100 meters, you're not catching him once he's in open field.
Yeah, such a great track athlete and an athlete in general, and breaks it open to open up this first half. Just when you think the Broncos were about to repeat their same offensive woes, Connor Lee burns a man over top, breaks over the middle, and takes it for what I'd say is around a 68-yard touchdown. 72-yard touchdown. Mr. Price, always correcting me. Human calculator.
And last week we saw Connor Lee's electrifying play really change the entire dynamic of that ball game at New Trier. And who knows, it could start being an offensive performance, offensive explosion here for the Broncos as they go for the 2-point conversion there, and they get it. Wow, Broncos 14-7. How about that, Austin?
Yeah, covering up their faults after that mixed extra point. They take the 7-point lead, and the Broncos are rolling here early in the second half to open it up. 11 minutes, 3 seconds left. That drive was just 57 seconds long, and that's exactly what you like to see. You love to see Harley Thompson using the arm that he has, being intelligent with the ball, and he makes a great play there, puts it right in the hands of Connor Lee, the speed demon.
And as William Dowell gets his student section fired up, you know, Austin, compared to last week, I gotta say, the students are just looking kind of lackluster here for the Broncos.
I think they're missing us, Chris.
They must be. Next week, we will be tackling that at Hoffman. Sorry to our viewers. You will have a week off of the two boys in the box. But we will see you in 2 weeks here at Barrington Community Stadium.
Sosky now here for the kickoff. And they take it right to the dangerous man, Will Collins, who's moving with speed. And it's a nice return as the Titans take it up around the 28th. A little less nice than his prior return.
Yeah, Austin. Not as good, but still, as a returner, Collins, so solid today. And, we haven't really seen a lot of their previous games. I wonder if this is how he's been all season long, as dynamic as he's been.
He's been very prominent in the rushing attack. He has had an interception, a pick six. He does it on all ends of the turf. Very impressive, and he is definitely the focal point of this team, along with Matt Berta, who's kind of been quiet up to this point of the game.
And player to watch on this drive for me is my boy Cole Kruger. He told me at halftime he's feeling himself right now.
Stretch run to Matt Berta, who he just said was having a quiet game, but that's a nice run. He's staying on his feet, moving with speed. And that's a nice tackle by Will Dowell, but a great run by Matt Berta. Maybe I jinxed him a little bit, and maybe he's making his name renounced here in the second half.
As the Daddy Dowell chants ring around the stadium, kind of a weird chant to have, especially after just giving up the first down, but, like we said, a little bit of a drop-off since last week.
Titans with one of their first explosive plays of the game on the offensive side of the ball. Man in motion. That'll be Berta again, who's moving with speed. And it'll be a nice gain there. What I've seen is Nye Swanson. He has a pretty good arm. He's made some lackluster reads here when Glenbrook South runs the play action, but I kind of want to see the Glenbrook South Titans use his arm more because I think he has what it takes to be a pass-first quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you, Austin. He's had a lot of open receivers today. I don't want to put any blame on the receivers, but there's been a couple drops that me or you, Austin, could potentially grab, and that says a lot.
You know what they say, wide receiver one down when we have our annual Turkey Bowl, but Collins moving with speed as he will take it up for the first down. Titans looking strong here, starting off the second half on offense.
Yeah, and similar how they start that first half, methodically marching the ball down the field. And boy, do the Broncos need to stop here more than ever. You don't want this to be a back-and-forth game. They need to stop here, and that would really gain some confidence for this Broncos team.
But it is 1st and 10. Titans moving on the Broncos 38. Swanson with the play action, and he's going to use his own speed to run for it as Sheedy will push him out of bounds. But still a nice gain for the Titans. As we will have a 2nd and 4. So you're the Broncos, you're giving up some yards on the run here. So what do you call it? Do you stack the box? Because Titans were looking to pass there.
I think you gotta gamble, and I think you have to stack the box. I would gamble that Bourdonnais, Dowell, Ward, Grosh, they can hold their own, I feel like, against these receivers. And
a pitch to Berta, who's had a great drive so far, and he will keep on moving and gets some extra yards there to add to this drive, getting the first down and more. And he will be marked down at the 21-yard line. The Titans entering the red zone now. Looking pretty fierce on the offensive side of the ball.
And boy, could the Broncos use a stop now more than ever.
Titans calling it over. I say you keep running the ball. Do your thing. Swanson with some misdirection action, and he will hand it off. That is Chuck Godfred, who will finally be brought down. And you know, that is exactly what the Titans needed, marching down, making the Broncos look weak. As it's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Men in the trenches, stacking up. Collins using patience. He's going to break it back out to the left, using speed. And a nice wrap-up by Nick Bourdonnais to stop him a little short. Collins, you know, what intelligence with the ball. You know, he doesn't see his go-to hole open. He uses his patience, uses his blockers to get some gain on the play. But an athletic play by Nick Bourdonnais, wrapping him up, who's had a fairly good game.
Yeah, and that was just, you know, great vision there from him. As he, like you said, he was really patient, really methodical with how he was going to run that ball. And, you know, like we've said all day long, he's using that speed to just get around the edge, make things happen for this team.
But now the Broncos have their hands full here with this Glenbrook South rushing attack. 2nd and goal, 2nd and 6. Berta breaks it out on the pitch using his speed. And what a play by Nick Bourdonnais. Bouncing from left to right, taking Berta down. And what an athletic play there, reaching out, saving a touchdown.
Nick Bourdonnais, the type of guy you want on the team, not for his size, not for his strength, but because of that heart. That kid has more heart than anyone I've ever played with personally and shared the field with in the sports I played growing up with him and just recently here in the high school. And what everyone says about him, you know, it's always good things about that kid, and he shows it there. So much heart out there on the field.
Berta gets up limping. Good to see that it's nothing serious. Glenbrook South breaks a huddle here on a big 3rd down. A timeout is called. By the Titans there. As the play clock was running down, they don't want to lose any yardage here after losing yardage on that athletic play there by Nick Bourdonnais. That's one of the best tackles I've seen all season.
Yeah, and Austin, if this goes to 4th and goal, what are you thinking here from this Titans offense? You think they go for this or settle for 3?
Well, it certainly depends how many yards you get, but I'm going for it. You know, I want to get that touchdown. If I want to bring it within 1 possession, even if the Broncos respond with a field goal, which they have not recorded all year, but, you know, you gotta make a play at some point, and clock's ticking. 6 minutes, 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. If I'm Glenbrook South, I'm going for this. And, you know, I'm looking to get some yardage here, because you're playing for 4th down at this point. Now the Titans finally break huddle out of their timeout. Oh, they go back into huddle. And finally the student section gets some momentum. But it seems like only the people up in the front under center here. Play action. Oh, a nice play by Swanson to lose a man. And he's going to find Berta. Oh! Oh, my God! It is Nick Bourdonnais yet again!
The flying squirrel! The way he fully extended for that, you know, you don't see that out of kids at this level. The awareness he shows and just that extra grit he has to fully extend and break up that pass. Wow, man.
You
This
know,
kid is special.
recovering from that miscommunication it seems that the Broncos had there on that play action, and Swanson using his agility to step up in the pocket. Bourdonnais was on his own island with 2 receivers, and I thought the ball went right to Berta, but Bourdonnais said, And And
Oh, they're
now
settling for
the
three.
Titans are settling for 3 here. You know, this could be the smartest play. They didn't get any yards on their last one. Let's see what the Broncos are hoping for. It's a bash! The Titans kicker there got the symptoms of stone feet as he absolutely doesn't even make it over the goalpost, and it lands in bounds. And that's exactly the kind of energy you want to see from this Broncos defense. You know, the Titans were taking advantage of them. You know, they got a little tired coming out, got a little relaxed, and the Broncos just totally stepped up there. The player of that drive, man, Nick Bourdonnais, saving touchdown after touchdown. And that's the athletic plays you see from him on a daily basis.
Yeah, and 3 plays just targeted right at Bourdonnais, and he said, not today. No, 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 that is not going to happen, and that's just something else.
Hand off. Looks like a halfback draw to Panessis, and Panessis will break some tackles to get a first down. The change you want to make, because you want to make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and the Broncos, if they made this a 2-possession game, you know, I don't want to call it too early, but I don't know if they're coming back from that.
I think you might have jinxed the Broncos there. Who knows, Chris? We'll see
I
in the
have
future.
confidence in my team.
We'll see in the future. Hey, announcer buys. Come on. Harley Thompson with a nice carry there. Making it 2nd and 4. The Broncos had a 72-yard pass touchdown to the man Connor Lee, who's been absolutely electric this season, making great catches from left and right. And that was a dot by Harley Thompson. Now we have 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. As it'll be handoff to Panessis, who gets swarmed up. That's some great response there. Recovery to force a 3rd down and 4. Panessis, who's had a great season so far, has kind of been getting swarmed. You know, he's making a lot of good rushes, but O-line's only giving him 1 hand. Usually they give him 2.
Yeah, Panessis for me is like lightning in a bottle. He's just waiting. You know, he'll absorb those hits. You know, the little 2-3 yarders. But as soon as he's unleashed, there's no stopping him. And we saw that on that 10-yard little QB little halfback draw there. Spurts of quick energy, and that's what the Broncos need to turn this game.
Titans giving the receivers a cushion. You know, I'm looking for Kakoma here, maybe on the out route, slant route. Who knows? False start is called on Kakoma. Flinched a little bit.
He was too nervous. He's ready for it. He knew he had the one-on-one. It was a big play.
It's those mental mistakes that are the reason the Broncos are close in this game. You know, they've had a lot of mental mistakes on offense, and it's unlike them because the Broncos last week had 2 flags against Nutra on the offensive side, and here they have plenty more.
Oh, and there goes the boy Sarkar entering the game. Big play for him on 3rd down here. Who knows?
Scoreboard saying 3rd down and 34, but I think it's a 3rd down and 8 at the Broncos' own 33. Another muff snap, but Harley Thompson picks it up real quick. Under pressure, he's going to throw it to Serrano, and a great improvisation play. Serrano's moving. That is 22. And you know, that play was a disaster to open up, but Thompson, under pressure, throws it, finds his man. That is Jack Serrano. And, you know, if we had high school fantasy, I think he'd be tight end 1.
Oh, definitely, Austin. And my players of the game today have been Bourdonnais and Serrano. The Serrano show on offense has been incredible, making something out of nothing. And it wasn't just the catch. It was the run after catch that was phenomenal, running through tacklers and getting those extra yards.
Penalty on the play, but it is declined by the Broncos. Definitely end up with much better field position here, as that was a big 3rd down conversion, especially after the fumbled snap. Thompson improvised and found Serrano. Now on the Titans 28, Panessis is moving dives for the extra yard. And that will be around a 3-yard gain on the play, up to the Titans 25. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remain in this 3rd quarter, and Chris, we are treated to a great one right here.
Yeah, just the game we've been waiting for. You know, it was kind of a little bit of a blowout, if you will, but a lot more of a better game, a little better contest tonight. It's great to see.
Now a nice jet sweep to Panessis, who's got to break it for some yardage. Stiff arms a man, and he's down. Flag on the play. Flag at the 25 could be a potential holding call coming back. Another holding call, and this has to be around their 5th holding call of the game. Very uncharacteristic of this Broncos offensive lineman.
Well, on that play, they got the junior Charlie Berry, like we've been talking about all season long. You know, those little nervous reps. Could be seeing that here for Berry.
Now specked up all the way, 2nd and 16. Definitely a tough loss, especially because Panessis was moving there. But will the Broncos recover from this loss of yardage? Thompson finding his man, that is, almost finds his man. Kakoma overshot him a little bit there. And you know, that Kakoma-Thompson connection, it's been a little weak this season.
Yeah, and going into it, they were working a lot in the offseason, throwing a lot with each other. But it's just missing by just this much, like just a little inch or so. And that play here, that made the difference between a touchdown and an incompletion. And he's going to want that one back.
Now the Broncos have a 3rd and 16. And, you know, if I'm the Broncos, if I'm Mr. Wire here, you know, I'm trying to get some yardage, get the Bordeaux in there, the boot, try to make it a 2-possession game. But, you know, Wire always likes playing aggressive, so let's see what the Broncos have in store. DB's playing a huge cushion. Thompson rolling out to left. He's going to throw it off his back foot. Wow. And a nice coverage play by Will Collins. Thompson again looking for Kakoma, the big body receiver, who is 4 inches taller than Collins, but it winds up unsuccessful. And, you know, that connection, they need to get that reignited somehow, and the only way you do it is by targeting Kakoma. It's just a matter of when it's going to go.
Yeah, I agree, Austin. And I think that once they get that connection once or twice, hopefully that connection will last and stay, and it could be a game changer for this offense. Having that other receiver weapon, the 1-2 combo of Kakoma and Lee has so much potential. Oh, and look, even Jack Bradley's in here today.
Seeing everyone on the field here, 4th and 16. The pressure is coming. Thompson's going to throw. He's going to target Kakoma again, and he catches it for the touchdown. Ben Kakoma, ice in his veins. 1st is a miss. 2nd is a miss. But 3rd we go, bang, bang, bang. And the Broncos add 6 to the board as Ben Kakoma lights up the board. The Broncos take a 20-7 lead, but no. The flag on the play. Kakoma cannot get any more unlucky there. 4th and 26. Just when you thought the Broncos would add a cushion to their lead, it gets called back by this offensive line who's having a very bad game. It is now 4th and 31, and they're bringing the special teams unit out there. Dismay on both of our faces, Chris. We are certainly disappointed.
It's just a lack of discipline for this offensive line. All season long, they haven't been too bad. Today, they're digging themselves this hole. They could be up 2 scores right now, maybe even 3 scores if it weren't for all these penalties.
A good line drive kick. Will that roll? And what a special teams play. That is Zach Meyer diving for it, pinning him down at the 1-yard line. Exactly what the Broncos wanted there, trying to get what they can take, or take what they can get. And Dylan Fitzpatrick with a boot. And now the Titans have a hole to climb out of, to say the least. Backed up at their own 1-yard line. You know, you could go 99 yards and go to the distance. to tie this game up. We have a great, intense game here for you. 2 minutes, 33 seconds remain in the third quarter. As, almost gets Collins for the safety. Collins bouncing off tackles. The Broncos sent the pressure there, trying to force and get 2 points, and they get the ball back, making a 16-7 game. But Collins uses his athletic ability and improvisation to kind of bounce through those tackles and get some safety yards.
Yeah, really broke out of a tackle from Andrew Krause. And we don't see that a lot. Krause is a huge dude. Collins, man, for just 160, he is powerful. That's going to be 160 of pure muscle.
Now it is 2nd and 6 at the Titans' own 5. Found the Broncos. I'm certainly stacking the box here. Moving with speed. And the Broncos give up the first down as the Titans advance.
You know, the Broncos, they haven't been prime position, pinned down at the 1. To give up a first down, just 2 plays from the run. It's got to be demeaning.
Now it's a 1st and 10. The Titans quickly dug themselves out of that hole as a handoff to Berta. And that is Andrew Krause on the wrap-up tackle.
Helping out on the stop there was Cole Kruger. And, you know, Cole pregame told me to give a special shout out to Cole's grandma. So, Mrs. Kruger, if you are watching this, Cole says hello.
Cole's certainly a wholesome guy.
Yeah, we love the guy.
Cole's abuela. .33 seconds remain in the third quarter as Collins moving, bouncing off tackles, and maybe he gets the first down. Clock is ticking down here in the third quarter, and the Titans will take it into the third quarter. And this is where we enter. Shout out to Scott Hansen, the man on NFL Red Zone. The witching hour, where wins become losses and losses become wins. We head into the fourth quarter. The Broncos have a close, tight lead, 14-7. As there's 12 minutes remaining in this game, Titans have the ball starting at first down at their own 23. And we are certainly in for a show.
Yeah, Austin, I feel almost spoiled here. 14-7. One more quarter of football. Who's got the most left in them? And maybe this is where playing both ways really puts full effect to India. You're fatigued, you're tired. Maybe you start cramping, not preparing enough, hydrating enough. Who knows?
As we check around the scores, we see that Maine South and Palatine are knotted up at 10. Maine South, ranked number 2 in the state, is absolutely in a grudge match with Palatine. You know, who's kind of had a rough start to the year, but I think they'll pick it up. They have a lot of talent on that roster, with Jacob Bostic leading the charge of that offense. And we also see MSL opponent is also playing New Trier down 9 as Barrington took a W against New Trier. But now let's focus on what everyone wants to see. The Broncos versus Glenbrook South. The start of the fourth quarter is here. As Swanson under center, Collins in motion. It'll be a jet sweep to Collins, who's breaking it out to the right. He has a lot of room, and he has more room, and
Cahanzo.
What a hit by Cahanzo. A nice run by Collins, but he is definitely shaken up as he goes to the sideline. You know, Cahanzo, K-O, in the first 2 letters of his last name. could mean something else.
Yeah, Jake, you wouldn't expect his second sport to be baseball, but boy, that boy's got some heat from the pitcher's mound, and man, I would hate to slide in him playing baseball.
Now 1st and 10 as Glenbrook South is moving, starting at their own 1, trying to piece together a 99-yard drive here to get 6 points and possibly an extra point here as Berta gets the misdirection handoff, but it is read well. Cahanzo again, who has been an absolute beast throughout the season. Every time, at least once or twice a game, we see a hit that just makes us go, oh. We saw it against Warren, we saw it against Wheeling, and we also saw it against Nutcher, and he just gave us one right there.
Cahanzo, the KO show.
Swanson under center. He's looking for a play action. Scrambling under pressure, and he finds his man Berta, who will yield to the ground.
Cole Kruger there on the pressure on that play. But it looks like there is a Bronco shaken up, and that looks to be number 55. Zach Meyer. He was laying down on the ground. I saw him after that big special teams play. And maybe that's the same thing going on. It looks to be an ankle maybe, but I hope he's okay to finish the game out strong.
Zach Myers definitely had a great game. The reason the Titans had to start at their 1-yard line. Now the Titans have a 3rd and 7. This is a big play here, but, I think you're playing for 4th down. As we enter under 10 minutes, trips to the bottom of your screen. Swanson, flag on the play. Swanson finds a man. That is Jack DeSano. Flag on the play, that could be coming back. Illegal formation. We've seen a lot of those, and you don't see that often in football, maybe once or twice a game. This is the 5th time now we've seen an illegal formation by both offenses. Both offenses have been making a lot of mental mistakes. And, when you're going against these defenses who have had good seasons so far, it's kind of, you're not expecting to put up a lot of points. Third and 12. Titans converted a 1st down, but it gets called back 5 yards on the play. As a big play now here for both teams. Swanson looking deep. Oh! And I will say, a terrible call. Terrible call. The ref is right there. That ball could definitely be ruled as uncatchable, as Swanson just threw it up. That was 5 to 7 yards in front of DeSano, and he fell after the play. Sheedy hardly making contact with him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Austin. He sold it a little bit like a footballer himself. And, he got the call. The ref right there, though, you'd think he'd make the call correct, but we don't got instant replay here at the high school level.
Yeah, I might have to turn over to my left in that Glenbrook South room for the 2nd time because maybe they gave the ref a little call there. But you never want to accuse him of that. We're expecting good sportsmanships on both ends as the Titans go back to their run-heavy formation. Hand the ball off up the middle is Collins. Takes it for around a 5-yard gain. Nine minutes left in the game here. The Titans are moving. Who will step up and make the play? Will the Titans tie it up, or will the Broncos respond and shut this offense down, kind of like they've been doing all game? We will see in the final minutes, but the Titans are looking strong with their run game, and that's kind of what happens with teams when you constantly run the ball. The defense gets very tired of just tackling you. They're like, give me a break. But Swanson here hands it off to Collins, who breaks it up using his speed, but he is met just short of the 1st down mark as it will be 3rd and 1. 3rd and 2. My apologies.
And like we mentioned earlier, the Titans marching this ball from their own 1. It would be a shame for them to fall out of points after making it this far.
Two receivers surprisingly stacked out to the right. I think that's more of a decoy. As a nice handoff to Collins. Collins will take it up, get the first down and more. A flag is thrown. Wonder what it is. Maybe a personal foul.
Let's say a clean tackle by Cahanzo.
The chains are not moving. Face mask and the Broncos, or the Titans, get 5 extra yards to add to that play. As they will be at the 25, starting all the way back at their own 1-yard line. Also draining the clock. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remain. Defense definitely needs to make a stop here. Berta in motion. Swanson will hand it off to the left. Collins is moving, and Collins is wrapped up. But if you're averaging 6 to 7 yards a gain, a rush, you know, that's going to beat up the defense for sure.
Yeah, you know, and it's just taking away at all these Broncos players. Like you said, Austin, having to tackle Collins after rushing for all these big gains, it's so demeaning to you. And you need this one big hit, like Cahanzo's there, a big stop, just to wake you up almost and get you back into reality.
Berta in motion again as Collins will go the opposite way. Seems like it's the same play, and Cahanzo wraps him up just short of the first down mark. Cahanzo's been all over the place, as it will be 3rd and 2.
And if the Broncos could somehow here force a turnover on downs, man, that would be huge.
6.5 minutes remain in the game. 7-point game. Titans looking to tie it up. An indirect snap there as Collins will move the chains. The Titans move the chains. A man is down, though, on the field. Looks like 2 men are down. Danny Sheedy gets up. Let's see who's the man down on the far side of the field.
And you know, the Titans are walking into Bourdonnais territory. It'll be interesting to see if Nick can make some big stops here again, prevent them from getting in the end zone.
Owen Powell walks off the field there, hoping everything's all right as he's down again off on the sideline. But play continues, and you certainly never want to see it. He was down for a while.
Especially out of a
Prayers
captain.
up for Powell there, as the Titans will hand it off to Berta on the stretch, who moves it up. Short of the first down yard line, but first down yard line's practically the end zone line. And the Titans are going coast to coast here, prancing down this turf in the clutch moments. Starting at their own 1 yard line. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left. Handoff to Berta again, who will wind up just short as the Titans are knocking on the door with 5 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. It's a first and goal at the 1 yard line. They started at their own 1 yard line, and this has been certainly an impressive drive, taking up the whole fourth quarter so far. And the Broncos are getting eaten alive.
Yeah, the Broncos need to wake up and really change the dynamic of this ballgame, especially after Powell went out. It seems that they got to get their heads up, really lock in right now.
Swanson hands it off, and Will Collins is in for the rushing touchdown. That is the second touchdown of the game for the Titans, and Will Collins' second touchdown. And what a dominant drive displayed there by the Titans.
They're going for two.
As they are now taking the risk.
This could be the game here, Austin.
Players out onto the field. They're playmakers for sure. 14-13. 4 minutes, 58 seconds remain. You know, it looks like they're definitely running it here. Barrington needs their goal line defense to step up. Man in motion. Swanson takes the play action. And he's going to try and run for it. And he gets it. Titans take the lead. 15-14, taking the risk. And Glenbrook South is up 1 with 4 minutes, 58 seconds to go.
And the Broncos are going to need everything they have out of this offense to win this game and possibly the final drive if they time this correctly.
And what a dominant drive displayed there by the Titans. Getting the maximum points you could get on one drive. And boy, that is clutch right there. 4 minutes, 58 seconds remain. As the Broncos are now down for the second time in this game, but they're down by 1 for the second time in this game.
The Bronco faithful's got to wake up as well. The team needs the energy out of its supporters, and as we see right now, the Glenbrook South supporters are going crazy. You can hear them all the way up here in the box. We need some of that out of Barrington.
Certainly disappointing, Chris. But the show must go on. Glenbrook South lining up the kick. If they get a stop here, it could be wraps for the game, which is why this is probably the most important drive of the season for the Broncos so far. Looking to advance to 3-1.
2-2 would be tough for the Broncos here.
Panessa's moving with speed. Panessa is moving with speed. And that's exactly what the Broncos needed to start off on the right foot in this significant offensive drive. 4 minutes, 50 seconds remain as the man of the hour, Harley Thompson, is walking out onto the field with Kakoma and company.
Yeah, and this is going to need to take everything it's got out of Thompson, all the discipline this offensive line has had. This is a no penalty drive here for the Broncos.
Thompson in shotgun formation. Uses the play action under pressure, using his speed though. He's going to try to get some yardage. Kakoma was wide open down the field. Thompson maybe not feeling super comfortable with that throw. Doesn't want to take the risk, just gets his yards. Can always see it from the quarterback's perspective.
Yeah, and you always, win or doubt, you got to tuck and run there. It's too dicey in this game. You don't know if your defense is going to stop. You're down 1 in the fourth. Just 4 minutes and 39 seconds remain. Not worth the gamble there. It's a smart call.
And still got a good gain there on second. And now it's 2nd and 3, a 7-yard gain on first down. My apologies. At their own 45-yard line, 4 minutes, 39 seconds remain in the game. Broncos are moving down, and it is swallowed up. Great play. That is Patrick Downing there, breaking through that O-line, who's had a rough game. And now it's a crucial 3rd and 4. Broncos at their own 44-yard line. Thompson takes the snap. He's going to find his man. That is Kakoma. Kakoma is moving. Kakoma takes it all the way to the Titans' 30-yard line, and that's exactly what you need. Ben Kakoma having a great game, and that is when he steps up. That's when the best players step up on 3rd down. In the final minutes of the 4th quarter, your team is down. You need to step up there. A nice, polished route, and he takes it for more yardage. And the Broncos are now at the 30-yard line of the Titans.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments.
Sweep to Evan Panessis, who gets swallowed up. Absolutely abused on that play, and there's nothing he could do about it. A flag on the play, and the Broncos might be moving back. That is on Peter Hutchinson. That's a crucial loss there. 1st and 20 now.
Like I said, this has got to be a penalty-free drive for the Broncos, and sadly, they suffer that one. But 1st and 20, it doesn't have anyone down in that huddle. They are fired up, and Thompson is ready to deliver a game-winning drive here.
1st and 22. Thompson takes the snap. He's going to try and move up. And he throws a pick. It is intercepted. Thompson throws a pick. That is Andre Namrod on the play. 2nd interception of the season for Harley Thompson there. And it looked like there was nothing there. I think he saw his man Connor leave, but he was absolutely swarmed. And that's not what you want. Final minutes of the game. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left. He threw it right to him on that play. And now the Broncos are looking unlikely to pull this victory out, but there is still hope.
Yeah, and, you know, I see what Thompson was seeing there, but he had to split 2 defenders to deliver that ball in, throwing on the run, throwing off his back foot especially. I just don't know if it's a smart throw. We were talking about how he tuck in ran last time, but the 1st and 20, it's the penalties, man. It all leads back to the penalties and how they've negatively affected this team today. And so much penalty yards, so many yards due to penalty losses for this team.
Glenbrook South not doing what they do best, handing it off to Will Collins, who will churn for a 1st down.
And they need something here. The Broncos defense, if they have any hope of pulling out this game, 3 minutes to go, they got to get something here.
Timeout was not called. It's 2 minutes, 49 seconds remain as the clock continues to tick in this game. Glenbrook South taking their time. As Swanson under center again. Waiting for the play clock to hit 1. He'll take the snap. That is Berta, who is swallowed up. A good way to respond by this Broncos D-line. A timeout is called.
3 more plays like that for the Broncos would be the dream. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. It's gotta be, they gotta pull out a miracle to see this one through, it looks like.
Broncos remain with 2 timeouts left after taking their first one here. 2nd and 8. The Titans are at midfield. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. There's no 2-minute warning in high school. And, you know, just reflecting back on this offensive struggle, I hate to put blame on people, but the offensive line is a primary catalyst for what has been going on in these offensive woes. Only 2 touchdowns put on the board. And, you know, they left a lot of points up there that could be added to the board right now, and they could have a comfortable win.
Yeah, and Kokoma's touchdown, as we saw just the 2 drives ago for this offense, a touchdown that gets brought back on a holding call. That changes his entire dynamic of the game. They go up 2 touchdowns there. Who knows what happens? It's sad to see here for the Broncos. They're going to need to work this out this week if they have any chance of going. It's a pretty hot Hoffman Estates Hawks team.
Hoffman Estates definitely has explosion on offense. So that could be an offensive game, and that could be a game where the Broncos offense tries to kick it into gear. Hand off again to Collins, and Collins is swallowed up. And that's exactly what the Broncos need. Is a second timeout is called. 2 minutes, 16 seconds remain. You know, so if you're the Titans here and you get another 2 yards, you're at 4th, and it ends up being a 4th down, do you go for it? I say you do. You try to ice the game, and you don't let the Broncos offense get a second chance.
Gosh, Austin, I don't know. It depends how close it is to the marker. Here at midfield, they could get there and into field goal range in 1, maybe 2 plays. As we've seen today, Barrington has the ability, if penalty withholding, they do make these big plays. I don't know. It's a little risky. I'm going to say you don't do it. I'm going to say you punt it away and gamble on time.
I say you put the icing on a cake, but will the Titans get a first down here? It's a big stop here, the biggest play of the game yet. 3rd and 6. GBS gives the pitch. Flag is called. I wonder who that is on. Maybe an offsides. Illegal shift. We saw 2 players move at the same time. Good eye by the man, Mr. Price. Absolute football guru. Penalty is declined. And now it's 4th down. And Chris, what do you do here?
Oh, boy, Austin. I think they're going to listen to you here and go for it, it looks like.
Timeout.
But it just sounds too risky for me, Austin. 2 minutes and 12 seconds is a lot of time to leave on this clock for this explosive team to drive simply 25% yards.
And all they need is a field goal, too.
Exactly.
You must remember that.
And I'm betting on Bourdonnais in that moment.
But do you want to bet on this offense? Because the Titans' offense definitely picked it up here in the 4th quarter with their rushing attack. And they were looking strong up until this set of downs, but maybe they'll look strong again. The biggest play of the game awaits with 2 minutes, 12 seconds left.
And Austin, the anticipating is building inside me. I need to move around, get all this out of me. And as Cozy comes on the big screen and tells everyone to get loud, for once in this game, it feels like this Bronco faithful is on its feet.
The floor is shaking with "We Will Rock You." I can't even hear my own voice. I'm sure my voice is loud enough for the stream. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left. Titans take the huddle. Oh, and they look to punt it. Chris, they follow the words of you, but maybe a fake. You never know with high school football.
Statue of Liberty.
Up their sleeve, Statue of Liberty. And the Titans play it conservative as Panessis fields it. And that's a good punt, pinning the Broncos back. But now the Broncos offense gets a second chance. 0 timeouts left on the clock. With 2 minutes, 6 seconds remaining, they will take the ball at their own 10-yard line. Down 1. And this is what we play for, fellas. This is what we play for.
And this is where champions are made. If the Broncos hope to have any postseason success, they got to win games like this. 14-15, it's a nail-biter. It's a barn burner. They got to get something here.
Thompson now in shotgun formation. Pressure coming off the left side. They're going to use a misdirection to Serrano. Their cheesy Madden play that we love to call. Serrano's moving, and a penalty is called. Believe that is a block in the back by Connor Lee. Not sure how much I agree with that, though. It looked like it was more so on the side. As these flags are just killing this offense.
You just hate to see it there. It's another big chunk play by the Saran show. Gets called back again. The discipline is just so lacking tonight.
Especially tonight. You don't really see this from the Broncos. They're a well put together fundamental team that, you know, doesn't commit a lot of penalties, but now they're here on 1st and 12 at their own 8 with 1 minute 58 seconds left. Thompson is going to find the man, Connor Lee. Surprised he didn't turn up to go out of bounds as the chains are moving, and so is the clock. 1 minute 44 seconds remaining. The clock is ticking as the Broncos' hopes of winning this game diminish by each second. Panessis goes out. Empty backfield. Thompson's going to look. Thompson's going to throw, and he throws another interception over the middle. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy McPherson, the junior, jumps over the middle, and the Titans will intercept Harley Thompson for the second time in this fourth quarter and the final minutes and put the icing on the cake to bake a great Titans win and a devastating Broncos loss.
Yeah, and I don't know how much blame you can really put on that throw on Harley Thompson, because think about it. You don't get the block in the back. You get a 20-yard pass play. But the flag comes back, and, you know, I think ultimately the flags lost this game for the Broncos.
Victory formation here for the Titans. And boy, Chris, this was definitely a devastating loss here. You know, coming back, and now the Broncos are 1-3 at home. And maybe it could be the energy lacking in the student section. It's definitely a lot of lack of discipline in this game. And Chris, what do you have to say about this game just in general?
I'm going to have a long talk after this game with guys like John Van Gilder, Kakoma, Cole Kruger, Gavin Sarkar, probably Harley Thompson himself. And I need to get a sense of morale of what's going on in this locker room. I think they got way too comfortable after the new Trier win. And we just saw it today, just a lack of discipline. A lot of guys also going down to be injuries, to be fair. We see a lot of juniors getting a lot of reps that they don't usually get. But I feel like it's no excuse for discipline here. And we need a big bounce-back win at Hoffman next week. And Austin, you and I will be there, and we're going to get that thing cooking.
Playing a different role for sure. Not in the booth, sadly, so you guys won't be able to hear our beautiful and angelic voices. But right now, our voices are full of dismay as the Broncos take a loss here. But what is an impressive defensive win by Glenbrook South. They take the final knee. The clock kicks down as the Broncos will lose a heartbreaker in their 4th game of the season and advance to 2-2. Glenbrook South will take a 4-0 record, beating teams left and right. This was definitely the closest of the bunch. As the clock hits 0, teams shake hands. As we sign off for the final time, and we will be back here
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I believe.
Yep.
Let's see what the Broncos cook up against the Hoffman Estates Eagles. But as for now, they have a lot to work on, especially on offense. They shake hands. I am Austin Molinaro.
And I'm Chris Kaleko.
And we hope you have a fantastic night.
Peace.
Barrington.